Hey everyone, it's K-Red, and welcome back as we continue with part 2 of this Zentangle inspired art project. In the last video, we did drawings including Sand, Swirl, and Jarvik, and we're just going to continue that thread. This doodle page took well over 4 hours to do, so we're going to be breaking it up into a few videos, but we'll go ahead and get right started where we left off from part 1. If you missed part 1, don't worry, there's a link in the description, but for now, let's pick up right where we left off. All right, so what do you think? I like it. I really am liking kind of how I'm in this swirl mood today, right? We did the sand swirls, we had the little ones in here, and now I'm doing the Jarvik. I really like that. So we're going to do just a little bit of contrast with it. We'll do something in these squares. I don't know if I have done this pattern as a peaceful pattern. Let me see. Oh, well, we could do cubine in it, though. That might be cute. But I wasn't thinking cubine. I was thinking along the lines of a cadence. So we have our lines here, and I didn't do as many step outs, but basically, because I do them so much, it would be the lines on all the way around, and it would be kind of a thing like that. And I think this cadence would look nice because it's somewhat squirrely-ish. So I think that's what we will be doing. So doesn't really matter. Like I said, there's hopefully going to be no up or down by the time we're done. So I'm probably just going to start here because I don't have to deal with the edge of the paper. And we'll go ahead and we'll add in our dots. At the end, we'll go back and erase all of the lines, because with this pattern, we're not going to keep the actual lines. But they're going to help me look like I'm uniform and have my act together, so that's always nice. I like it when we're at an edge of a page to still have that circle. I'm making the circle really small now, and then depending on how I feel, I may go back and make it larger. We'll have to see how I feel. So we're going to do from here to there. Going down and then up. That's what I am doing. Now, as I have mentioned in others, I am not a Zentangle instructor. I am not certified by any means. I'm just a woman who works hard and found that by doing this doodling, by using my brain in a way that I wouldn't normally use it, I can get a lot of comfort. Now on this pattern, the reason I'm doing all of these one way is I have a habit to make a mistake and to make them go in the wrong ways. So I'm going to do my best to avoid that. Then on these, I'm not even really coming down, I'm just going up and off the paper for those. Whoops, I need one more here. There we go, and one more here. That way it looks like it's going under. I'll do my shading so it looks like this is on top and that's under here. So then I turn my paper because that's what's easiest for me. And I'm going to do the lines the same way, under and then over. So because I am not certified or been through a lot of the training, it's always possible I do these just a little bit wrong. So if it's a little different than what you've seen in other places, just know this is kind of my take on it and kind of how I do it and what I enjoy. The neat thing about doodling is if I do it slightly different than the creator designed, they inspired me to kind of just create a little offshoot of it, and that's pretty cool too, right? I'm always up with giving credit to the people who did it. This one is an official Zentangle pattern, so credit would go to Rick and Maria. But there's that. We'll come back and we do some shadings. We could do some neat stuff in it. There's all kinds of variations we can do. I'm feeling like a double line. I'm feeling like an aura. But I'm not feeling confident enough to make that yet. So we'll have to just see where we end up and coming back and touching on it and deciding where exactly we want this to flow and go to. But that's where we are at this point. So now we're back to deciding where do we want to go next. We have our Javix that we can do some embellishing on. We still have those 2 circles. We have this pattern that we have been kind of playing with and working off of. Considering doing an aura all the way on this side of this. And I'm thinking of doing it in a big, bold number 1 color. It's scaring me just a little bit. But what do we got to lose? A little pen, a little paper, a little time. Maybe a little embarrassment with the internet world, realizing that I'm kind of silly. Because I truly have no visual of where these things will end up, it's a surprise to all of us. So what I like to do on some of these is really give it a good fantail. And like I said, a lot of times I'll do that at the end. But I like it to have just that great black emphasis that I just love. Looks like this pin's wanting to see better days as well. And then I just smooth out any of the areas where maybe my pen didn't do it well. If it's a valley, if you think of like where water maybe would gather in a valley. Super exaggerated, so we'll see how those turn out. Sometimes what I do is if I'll have like a section, like this becomes a section, I don't know that it will, but if it does, then once I have the drawings in there, I'll do like dots in the back so that it can have like a little bit of a background. That's always kind of fun. But now I just need to decide what I want to draw next. Well, I had mentioned over here is that I thought it would be neat to do like some flowers that would come off of this. I ended up not doing it because I hadn't left myself enough room. But let's give ourselves the room this time. And rather than doing the pokey flowers that I almost always like, I decided this time to do a kind of a petal. A nice jagged end. This is not a flower I would typically do in this dark of a pen. If I had been thinking, I would probably have changed this to an 05 or an 08. But since I've started it, that's what it will be this time. So what do you think? Notice I did them a little bit different. These I put spaces in between each of them. These I butted up against them. I guess it just depended on whatever was my mood at the moment. I now need to decide, what do I want to do in the petals? What do I want to do in the circles? Do I want to do an aura on the outside, or do I want it to be something different? I kind of like the way that looks, so I'm really not unhappy with the look of it. I don't want to put an aura around it yet because I'm not sure that's what I want to do. I think for my stems, I'm going to go down to that PN pin and just do some jagged lines in the stems. The Basically, I do 3 shorts and a long is how I normally do it. I like them to be relatively close together. If I don't think like I got enough of the down to the bottom, I'll just go back and do some little dots, which is what I did just there. I'll make my lines shorter rather than longer to begin with. I can always go back and extend it. It's a great little shading on the bottom of the flower. I can come in here and I can add some thickness to some of these edges, add a little bit of texture. Maybe not on every one, but on a few of them. I'm enjoying that. I'm almost ready for maybe a corner here and then just something in there. Do I want to do some of the flowers, these jarvics around here? Do I want on here? I was seeing those. Maybe that's what I want to do. Some of these Verucas or even the wriggles, and kind of have them popping up along here. That could be fun. Let's go ahead and go to the 5. This is a very dark paper, so I wanted to make sure that I am using a thick enough line. And let's do the Verucas, where we're going to make 2 lines, a topper, we're going to shade in underneath it, give it an aura, and then the tops. Let's let this one curve right around that circle. There's my there, and then we're going to do the auras and the shading underneath. Probably not my best job there, but it'll be okay. And then I want to remember to give myself a nice aura. Trying to decide how big I wanted that shading to be. Then a nice aura around it. I'm going to start with the top and then cascade down. And the same thing here. And we're going to do one going the other way that's shorter. Going to try to forget the aura. I remember when I did the card, I would occasionally forget the aura. So we want to see if we can remember the aura. So I have those 2 that'll work kind of like a placeholder. So what if I did one that would go kind of like this off the top of that circle? And then the stem would have gone like that, so the circle would be in front of it. What I'm thinking of doing with the circle is treating them almost like a little mandala in the middle. I'll give myself some circles within it maybe, or some rows within it maybe. And maybe not. Maybe I'll turn it into a flower or just a design or a checkerboard or something more basic inside, but my thought pattern at the moment is that it'd be fun to treat them just like they were little mandalas. So then let's one maybe go in this direction. And you're really not going to see much underneath. Remember, there are no rules. Nothing that says you can't mix florals with other patterns, with squares. It's just fun to put in all kinds. And then this one I'm going to do almost straight. Fill in this area. And even though the stem is long, I'm making this one a little bit bigger. My little men with sunglasses that my husband sees when he looks at these cracks me up. I could have done these each instead of just all having the same lines going down. They could have gone different shapes, but I kind of wanted them all to be the same. So what do you think? One more over here? That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do another nice big arch around it. A super big one. Pretty proud of myself for remembering the aura each time. So now what my mind is thinking, on the other side, do I want to do the other floral pattern, wriggle, or do I want to keep these the same? I think I want to keep them the same. I think I'd like them to continue out to there. Maybe I'll do wriggle somewhere else, maybe I won't. But I'm thinking over here I'm going to do them the same. I think I'm going to do one more small one right here. And that one will have kind of a little bit more of a straight. If you do a random pattern today, I would love to hear what you choose to put on yours. I would love to see a photo of it if you'd like to share it with us. I've always dreamt of it being just a safe place where I show you all my mistakes and things, and that you all can feel comfortable to do the same. But I also know that that is not an easy thing to do. So whether you choose to share or not, I hope you just get inspired to pick up a pen, to pick up a piece of paper. Just let your mind relax a little bit. The benefits of what this does to your mind, the scientists are still developing and learning, but it's been known to help with PTSD. It's been known to help with chronic pain. And the reason why is I think it diverts my attention and my focus. Because I am not naturally creative, I don't really see creativity the same way. I think you can learn and do better, and I think I have learned and do better than I was. One day I'll show some of my early drawings that I did, 10, 12, 13 years ago now, when I first started. And I think the more I see, what I used to do at the beginning is I would see somebody else's drawing, and I'd just try to copy it exactly. I didn't try to come up with anything on my own. It was all just too overwhelming for me. And so I would see what somebody else had done, and I'd say, okay. And I tried to do that exact same thing. Like some people are just so cute and creative with making mushrooms or the trees and the leaves and the things like that. And I would attempt to copy it, the shapes, the patterns used, all of that. And all done with full respect of the artist, right? Of somebody just helping somebody who can't think of those things and still get all of that benefit without the extra stress. If it's stressing you out to figure out what to draw, then by all means copy somebody else. Copy what somebody else drew. This should always be the opposite of stress. If you feel like you've made a mistake and now you have to throw your paper away and that bothers you, then do your whole drawing in pencil at first. I did that for many years. I would never draw first in pen. I would have done all of this in pencil. And then I would have come back over it with pen and erased the whole thing. But that way I could have seen it all before I put it. Because this is a time investment, right? Oh, I forgot my aura. Oh, well. Well, there had to be one, right? I'll just add it on the bottom. And it just won't be on the top. Darn. I was doing so good. But just like Bobby Ross would say, no mistakes. And I think I'd like one more. We'll just do a nice arch this way. And I don't think I'm even going to bother with where the leg would have come through too much. This isn't necessarily a need to be a realistic drawing. This is just fun, fantasy, doodle, chat and talk. Been watching, I think it's on Hulu, some documentaries about the brain and how the brain works and things like that. I always find all that very interesting. And that's what we're doing, right? We're just helping our brain work a different way, process things a different way, have some fun. I tend to be a little analytical, so perhaps a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of things that are different. So what do you think? I kind of like it. I am enjoying it. Hopefully you can still see it okay. The sun is going down where I am, so I'm losing a little bit of light, but hopefully you can still see it. And so now we have to make some more decisions, right? Do we want some more boundaries on here? I probably do. I'm probably going to want this line to become dark and thick like that line. Do I want these to just continue all the way through and that's all this paper is? Or do I want something else in these two corners? I'm going to switch to pencil right now because I am kind of enjoying this. So I want to make sure that I don't mess up too much. Thinking of doing an aura. Aura is not the right word. Border maybe. Just like that. We could add another one like that. Remember how I said sometimes I'll just do, dots or something behind them. Sometimes my oars are tight like this, and sometimes they're real loose and large like that. But this is kind of a fun shape right here that we can just do something out of that shape. What if we did the same thing over here? Just a really random. I'll even do away with this line and make it much more curvy. Like this. Once I have filled all that in, who knows? Maybe I'll even want to add another Jarvik. Maybe I'll want to add some more of these Verucas. But basically, I have 2 more areas to go. But I think that would work, right? So let's go back to that one pen. And as my day is moving on, probably been doing this for, I don't know. Yep, doing this for about an hour, real time. I will probably not be able to finish it all, especially once I want to go in to do the accents on it and sorry, I couldn't think and do it. And I don't worry about matching it exactly. These are obviously not firm lines. They're just ideas of where they'd want them to be. I will go back in and make them. See, like this, I'm going to definitely make that a little bit wider. And then it's going to come up here a little bit more. Kind of like that. And I will go back in and make these all however thick and dark I want them to be. Once the patterns are in, it can be a little bit easier to see how I want to do it. Or maybe I'll dip down into the pattern and cover up the pattern. And that's perfectly okay with me. So now we've got 2 more spots to fill. Well, with that, guys, I think it's time for us to bring this video to an end. We're getting close to that 30-minute mark. We have lots more to go, so please like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss the next step where we go even further on this Zentangle-inspired art. Please stay safe, and we'll see you in just a couple of days as we continue on with this fun project. Bye-bye.